Hi, in this presentation, I'm going to show you how to set up the subjects and the chapters for the courses. So, what you see is the your administrator screen. So, when you log in as administrator, and you can click on the menu. So, when you click, there is a option for course management. So, if you expand the course management, we have an option for managing the subject and the chapters and content. I'll show you how you do the uh, let's add the chapters subject, then we'll add the chapter and the content. So if you click on the subject, it will show you all the list of courses you have, and you can select one of the course. I'm going to select the grade 1, and it take you through the subject creation page. So you can create you can click on the add subject, add new subject. So it's a very simple screen. So we have a different type of subject type. I'll come to that slightly later. So there are three options is there. One is the subject, or optional subject, or a category. So the optional subject is the one which you can use it for example, if you have a language, then you have a couple of options. People can choose any one of them, then you can use it for that. So I'll explain them slightly. So there are three options there on the subject type. Right now we are going to keep it as it is, that's a subject. And there's another option for new subject and existing subject. So this is an interesting features. The new subject and existing subject used for if you want to share a subject between two courses, then you can use the existing subject. For example, we have a course for if you take the higher secondary, where you have 11th standard. In the 11th standard you can have mathematics specialization or science group, max group or science group. There will be a common all the languages, even the it will have some of the common subject, and there are some extra subject. So if you want to define a common subject, then you can use the existing subject. So I'll cover that as well. So for example, like for the grade 1, we'll go for a new subject. So it is the if the subject has any code, you can put that, or you can leave it blank. So you have a grade 1. This a grade 1 is our subject name. So if you want to change, you can change that, otherwise it automatically defaulted. Subject references, even if you want to add any further information, then we can put either the book name or any book reference you want to put, that you can put it. And you can say whether it's a curriculum subject or extra curriculum subject. Depends on that, certain options will be enabled. And the third one is about the grading system, which again you can configure later. So now you created a max, then you can create something called science, create a science. And if you want to provide a subject reference, you can do. So the same way you can add multiple subject, and once you add all the subject, then you can click on update account syllabus. So now we have added the subject. Once the subject is added, then you have a button. The first button is for adding the chapters. So you click on so now we can able to add a subject chapters to the mathematics. It's a kind of similar flow. You can add a chapter and the lesson. So you can add a lesson 1. So first you add all the lessons, and if you want to give a description, you can add a lesson 2. and finally add the click on the update content account book, then it's update there. So now lesson 1 and lesson 2 is added. So you can also add additional further options by clicking on add new chapter. So you can add a chapter 1, and here you can create a lesson 1. So this will be added under the lesson 1. Same way you can create a chapter 2 under the lesson 1. Then you have another chapter 1 of lesson 1, so lesson 2. For lesson 2. So when you finally click on update account book, so now it's allow you to create the tree structure. So you can have a lesson 1, chapter 1, and you can have a chapter. So you can go infinite. So this is the how you do create a subject and add a chapters under that. Once the chapter is done, then you can able to click on the first icon, that is for adding so for example, like if you want to upload any document or any content or any video, so you can store them against a particular chapter. So click on the chapter. So here you can able to add new content. So you can upload so what you can do is you can record that chapter, you can record the video of the chapter, or you can for example, like you have a question bank, last few years question, so you can collect the questions. It can be all the different formats. So I'll show you how you do a document upload notes. So you can straight away, because we have a very good editor, so you can add so you can do the complete formatting. So you have header 1, then you can have, so you can also type. There's one option. The other option is you can also do documents. You can upload the document. The third one is you can upload the video. And here you have a scope. It will tell you whether this information will be available to the student or the parent or trainer. So this we can use it to, suppose if you want to upload a training material, so you can record the lessons of a particular chapter and you can upload, and you can say student, then only the student and the teacher can see it. So if you put trainer, then only the trainer can see it. So this will be very useful if you are running a kind of chain of institution, or even if you are an institution, you can record all the videos of how to teach children, how to handle children, how to take care of the particular lessons. You can record them. So it's about train the trainer materials, and here if you put trainer, then this material will be available only for the trainers, so they can watch them and they can go back and teach in the same way. So this will be very useful concept for to train your teachers and the other employees. So this scope will be defined. If you have a student, then it is available for the student and trainer. If you have a parent, then it is available for the parent and trainer, and if you put trainer, then it is only available for the trainer. So right now I'll make it as a student, so it will be available for both trainer and the student. So now we have created a chapter for the particular content. So if you click on that first one, then it will show you, if you click on the edit, it will show you the chapter, the content has been uploaded. You can start adding new content, then you can add you can edit the chapter details, and you can also add a question. You can also add a questions to the particular chapter. So that's how you go through that. The step 1 is you go to the menu, click on the subject, and select a course you want to update the chapter. So this will be coming. So click on the first part, that is for adding a chapter. So that's a book like icon. If you click, then it will go to the chapter. Then you can further add new chapters, and you can expand it. Now I go back to the slightly go back, and I'll tell you how to add, what is the use of this optional subject. For example, like if you have an option of students, where they can have multiple, if you are offering a multiple language option, especially if you are running a CBSE or international board where the multiple language option is there, or even in the college you are having elected, if you are running a higher education or engineering or college level, so you have elective subjects where student can choose from some of the subjects available. So in that case, what you can do is you can create a new subject. Yeah, click on the new subject. Here you need to select something called optional subject. So you can say that language. For example, I'm going to add a 2 option for language. So now it's created as an optional subject. Now under that language you can add additional subjects. So if you click on the plus button, so if you click on the now you can add a new subject. So I'm going to add a subject option called I'm going to add a first option called Hindi. And I'm going to add another option called, for example, like Tamil. That's it. Click on update account syllabus. So now under the language, now we have a 2 optional subject, Hindi and English. So the student can choose any one of them of the optional subject. So for example, in a class you can have 10 students choosing Hindi as a language and another 10 students as a Tamil as a language. So that way you can able to create this optional subject. So you can do quite a lot of configuration. For example, like I'm going to show you how CBSE structure is being stored. That's where the third option will be used. So in case of, so when you create a new subject, so the first you have a normal subject, second we have an optional subject we have seen, third one we have a category. This will be very useful when you do a very large courses. I'll show you 2 examples. The first example I'm going to show you for 10th standard for the CBSE syllabus. So if you have a CBSE syllabus, we have the CBSE syllabus is structured into various parts. So we have a part 1 and part 2. So part 1 is the scholastic areas, then the part 2 is the non-academic. So the part 1 you have again 1A and 1B. Even part 2 you have a 2A and 2B and 2C. So these are kind of structured different structure which is available for that. So that's where the category is useful. For example, this part 1 is a category. It's not a neither it's a subject or a optional subject. And again 1A, it is not a subject or it is not a optional subject. Now if you go to English is the main subject, language is an optional subject. Within the language you have a Hindi and Sanskrit. These are the 2 optional subject available. then we have a mathematics as a subject, science or social science or subject. So you have a category. So that way, using this subject type, you can able to build a complex structure when you define languages or the subjects. This is a one example. So it's a very complex scenario. So based on this, you'll generate the report accordingly. So if you look at the CBSE report structure, it's a very complex report structure. Based on this configuration, the reports will be automatically generated. I'm going to show you another example, which is a college based example. So you have a BE computer science. So how you can do that? Here you can use a category option to create a semester 1, and within the semester 1 you have a theory and practical, which is again a category, subject type as category. Within the theory you have a various subjects, then you have a practical as a separate subject. Then the semester 2 you have a theory, then list of subject, then you have a practical and the list of subject. So that way you can use these three option to manage how you can structure your courses. And one of the other useful option on the language is about the drag and drop functionality. So you can able to drag by clicking on this arrow button. So you can able to drag the subjects to the top and you can rearrange them the way you want it, so that in the report it will come in the proper order. So it's a completely drag. You can rearrange the languages how they want it. For example, if you want to move the Tamil to a top, you can able to do that. So one of the other important features when you define the subject is about the once the subject is defined, so that's once you define the subject, so this will not affect the existing batches which is already running. We have done this option because we don't want to disturb the existing configurations. So that way this any changes on the subject level, it will not affect the existing batches which we already created. So if you want to this need to be impacted on the existing batches, so you need to explicitly sync them. So I'll show you how you can do that. So click on the menu, go to the subject, select a particular course, and here we have an option called sync subject. So when you click on sync subject, it will copy all the subject to the existing batch. So don't get panic after you create the subject, it is not reflected in the courses. So it will start reflecting in the existing batches only if you click on sync subject. Thank you.